All right, this is Professor Mark Poepsel from Loyola University, New Orleans, and this is how to edit a video news package using Final Cut Pro X. This is assuming that students are in my videography class. They already have some idea of how to shoot good B-roll, how to shoot interviews, how to write stories, and now we're up to the point of editing packages using Final Cut Pro X. I'm going to try and make this relatively brief, so I've skipped a few steps. Obviously, they've shot the story, they've pitched the story idea, shot it, shot the interviews, shot the B-roll. They've come back to the lab, started a new event right here. This is going to be pack in 90 minutes. This is what we're calling this event. And they've also started a new project, which is down here, pack editing demo. And in the process of logging bytes to write the pack, they've created file, new keyword collection. They've created keyword collections like this and log the bytes right here. So everything we need is there. You write the story, you include the bytes, you incorporate those in the script, and then you record the reporter tracks using GarageBand. And I can show you very basically the steps for that in a different demo. But the main thing to know right now is you're just doing voice, and you're going to save it as something, and whatever you save it as doesn't matter, but the main thing is to click on no effects and then just record your whole thing in one giant take. The whole thing is going to take about 10 minutes or whatever. It's going to be way longer than this demonstration. The main thing is to share it and export the song to disk. Click export, and you're going to put it on your desktop in all likelihood. So that's how you do it with GarageBand to record those reporter tracks. I'll go into a more detailed one later. But over in Final Cut, you just import that as a file right off the desktop. It's going to be, I think it was something like that. So that's already been done. And in this case, I called it Fall Fashion Reporter Track. I've got clips with keyword collections already picked out. Sorry, I've got interviews with keyword collection clips already picked out. Those are the bytes. And I've got plenty of B-roll down here. So all those pieces are there. Reporter track, bytes, and B-roll. And this is how you put it all together. First thing you do is find a good establishing shot that's got some kind of nat sound. The script is called, it's going to be called the pack in 90 minutes, the fashion package. So if you need a copy of the script, I'll post it on Blackboard. The first line of the pack says, in classrooms all over Loyola, students are starting to break out the sweaters. So I'm looking for a shot with people with sweaters on that has some kind of nat sound. And I know this one's got a little bit of sound. It's not great, but it's got a decent amount. So I'm just going to go in and out using I and O and press E for end. And it's okay if it's 5 seconds long because the first couple of seconds are going to be in audio, the nat's up full, and then it can go on for about another 3 seconds. Give yourself a little pad off the top as well. So this is your first shot. You're gonna want to bring up the nats. So press R, and it gives you this highlighting tool. And press A again, and Option click to keyframe the audio. And you get those little points up there. Those are important. Go out about 2 seconds, and this side goes up, bed goes up, bed goes down. Put that one down. Come on, guy. Get your A. Bring that down a little bit. All right. Anyway, the audio should behave with me pretty well here. Like that. And that one's up as high as it's going to be. Okay. Next step is to go up and grab that reporter track. The one that says in classrooms all over Loyola. Starts about here.
1. In class.
A lot of times we'll go past it and then back up with the back arrow. And you hear that I sound. I is for your in point.
In classrooms all over
Just playing with L and stopping with K.
Loyola, students are starting to break out the sweater.
If I want to go twice as fast, I can push L twice.
And some are getting into sandals. Fall has come to New Orleans, and students try to wear this cool as the weather.
So K stops it, O for out. And now I want to put, the trick is that I want to put this audio in there, and I want to make sure that it I want to make sure that I can then continue editing from this point in the pack. So I'm actually gonna put this one in by hand and line it up with that point in the keyframe. So when that audio comes down, my reporter track comes up.
Take down some headers.
In classrooms all over Loyola, students are starting to break out the sweaters. So I'm going to go as far as sweaters, since that's the whole point of that shot. And this is the only time you need to do this, but because I'm trying to put everything on the same line by using the E key for E edits, I'm actually going to go down here and press the B for blade. Press the B for blade. Line it up with the playhead with that white line and click it. Press A again, and I'm going to bring this guy up here. So I can continue put in my reporter track and my interview track in this same line. So what's happened is I'm treating this one little bit of nat sound like it's part of the A roll, like it's part of the main roll, the main line of the video news story. And you can do that for different parts. You can do different things, but essentially this line right here, that's the main section of the story. It's supposed to have reporter tracks and bytes all the way through. So this is almost like it's an opening quick sound bite, but it's obviously nat sound piece instead of a byte from any person. So the point is I'm keeping this on the main line, but I want to be able to dump my next sound bite right into here just by pushing the E key. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So the byte that comes next in the script says, in the morning I get up and I check to see how the weather is.
My opinion is that...
So it's not that one, it's probably this one.
My opinion is that every morning when I wake up, I go outside and
Oh, that is it.
And that's all, yeah. I go outside. That's all. But remember that is that...
So I for in.
Every morning when I wake up, I go outside and I check the weather in my little pajamas, I see how the weather is, And when I walked outside this morning...
So I'm going all the way to where she says something she feels comfortable with.
It was pretty cold, and so I realized I had to be on campus from 10:30 this morning until 9 o'clock tonight because I have a 6:20 class. So I was like, okay, I need to dress kind of cozy, not nothing to, that I might feel uncomfortable with.
So there's my out. I push E and I put that in the end of the story, and the issue is that it's too long of a bite, so I'm going to cut out a chunk.
See how the weather is,
So I'm going to use the blade tool, chop it there.
And when I walked outside this morning, it was pretty cold, and so I realized I had to be on campus from 10:30 this morning until 9 o'clock tonight because I have a 6:20 class. So it's like...
Okay, so she starts saying, so it's like...
It's like...
So I'm going to hit that blade tool right there, press A, take the middle out, and if you listen to it without looking at the jump cut, it's a pretty decent bite.
Every morning when I wake up, I go outside and I check the weather in my little pajamas, I see how the weather is, It's like, okay, I need to dress kind of cozy, not nothing to, that I might feel uncomfortable with.
So that's a bite, and in order to keep that from being a jump cut, I'm just going to pull a little extra bit of B-roll from somewhere. I think this little sandal thing might work, and just grab a little in. I know it's not her feet, but I don't think anybody's going to care. Nobody's feelings are going to be hurt. And I'm going to use that to cover that gap. All right, so here's what it looks like so far. You've got opening nat sound break, a little bit of B-roll over the first reporter track, which I had to dump down here. The rest of the reporter track goes on this line, and there's black holes. That's fine. I'm going to come back and B-roll that later. Then I have a sound bite, and I went to a cutaway to cover up where I sort of cut that bite, that little chunk out of the bite. So it's two different pieces that are put together, and the cutaway is going to cover up where it would otherwise be a jump cut.
In my little pajamas, I see how the weather is, It's like, okay, I need to dress kind of cozy, not...
All right, I don't like using sandals as a cutaway there because it kind of contradicts what she's saying, and it seems kind of weird So I'm actually going to go to some other bit of B-roll, and now is when I wish I had shot more B-roll. I wish I had a ton more stuff to pick from. I think I'll just use this one and just put that in there because that's the same person, and just drop it in there. Trim it back a little bit. All right, we're good to go. So the next track says something like, but not everyone is ready to give up warm weather clothes, and that's back up here in the reporter track, track 2.
But not every no.
So whenever I record audio, I use a 3, 2, 1 just so I can cut it easily.
2, 1. But not everyone is ready to give up their warm weather clothes. Connor McCullough chooses his t-shirt and shorts. Oops, track 2, take 2. 3, 2, 1.
So I went to the second take for track 2. So I got to go push in again. I have to push in again and play it out.
But not everyone is ready to give up their warm weather clothes. Connor McCullough shows his t-shirt and shorts when looking at the same weather forecast.
So that's that one. Press E for end, and I go down and get that Connor McCullough bite where he's talking about it's not really bothersome to me right now because, you know, it's no big deal.
No, I mean, it's not really bothersome to a lot of dealers. It's not really bothersome to me right now. If I was cold, I would probably be admitting it, and I wouldn't try to act all tough about it, but no, it's not that bad.
So you can see that's already highlighted with blue because I already picked that bite out before. Just double checking it, put it in there with the E key. The next thing I do is look, and there's one more reporter track that says McCullough says there's another reason why he's wearing shorts today, blah, blah, blah. So it's going to be somewhere in here.
2, track 3, take 1, 3, 2, 1. McCullough says there's another reason why he's wearing shorts today.
Press E for end. Go back down to Connor's interview. And I think it's going to be this one. I'll just check it and make sure it's good. I'm just going to push E and drop it in there because I think I picked that one out perfectly before. Let me check.
Today.
I will say I only have one pair of pants that are a little bit dirty from the weekend, so I wasn't about to wear those.
All right, so I picked that one out and set it up perfectly the first time, so I could just drop it in there out of that clip. If you're wondering where the heck this is coming from, basically these are the bigger bites, and I've cut these little keyword collections out, and you can also find them in here as shorter edited pieces. It's one of these two that I just put in there. I just happened to find it up here. It looks like this in the original clip. It's just little highlights. It looks like this in the keyword collection. Boop, boop. All right, so we got both Connor bites. We got a couple reporter tracks. We got to put one more reporter track in. I think there's one that says something about Ms. Matthews. If you ever get stuck and you can't figure out what the heck's going on with your with all of your B-roll and stuff, it's probably because you have to click back out here to the original event. So we're gonna go in here and put track 4 in.
Ms. Matthews says she has a little shopping to do too.
So I'm just using JKL to go back and forth, in and out to put those in. And now we've got Robin's last bite. Oh, well, they're probably here somewhere.
When I wake up,
It's not that one.
it sucks that I can't. I gotta discuss this deal.
Thanks, dudes.
Take care.
Oh, it just sucks that I can't wear sandals next year. I gotta. Oh, it just.
I'm just gonna leave that right where it is.
Oh, it just sucks that I can't wear sandals and flip-flops like I like to. So I have to get more sneakers.
Okay, O for out, E for end. And one more reporter track up here.
2, 1. As seasons change, so do wardrobes, and in the meantime, students have their own ways of finding their comfort zone. For Pack News, I'm Mark Poepsel.
So there's that signature out cue for Pack News. I'm Mark Poepsel. Press E for end. And the message now is that if you come down in the in the project and you push Shift Z, the whole story is there, and it's going to look like bytes in blue and tracks in green, and there are going to be all these black holes, right? So I put this little nat sound piece in the beginning, and I had to drop my audio down there, but everything else is all on this main line. Track, byte, track, byte, track, byte, track, byte, track. Okay? So what needs to be covered up are those green portions, because in the video, they look like black holes. I use the up and down arrows because they take me exactly to the edit points, and I need to be on this frame. You can see this little backwards L here. That's telling you that's the last frame of video. So I'm going to go down there, and I'm going to grab some shot that matches something having to do with students wearing sweaters. Fall has come to New Orleans. And I'm just going to B-roll this pretty quickly. So we need some other sweater shot in JKL LLL. Good. Okay, that's fine. And I'm going to press the letter Q and pop it up there. Okay, that's too long. I'm going to bring it back a little bit. Put that playhead there at the end of that B-roll and grab another shot, something like that, in and whatever, out, and press Q again, and I can trim that one back, and then what it looks like is this.
In classrooms all over Loyola, students are starting to break out the sweaters, and some are getting rid of the sandals. Fall has come to New Orleans, and students try to look as cool as the weather.
Every morning when I wake up, I go outside and I check the weather in my little pajamas, I see how the weather is, It's like, okay, I need to dress kind of cozy, not nothing too, that I might feel uncomfortable with.
Okay, so the B-roll over here was not too loud. If it were too loud, I'd have to bring it down, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go down here to this shot right here. So far, Robin has been the star of the pack because she's got that first bite, and it's about people wearing sweaters. So the next thing I say is not everyone's ready to give up their warm weather clothes. That's probably where I should put the sandals. Come in here, I for in, press L to play it forward, blah, 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 O for out, and Q puts it on top. That's a little bit too long, so I'm going to trim it back, press the up arrow, go down here, grab another little shot. If you edit in the camera, your shots are all going to be steady, and you're not going to have a hell of a time. Oops, there's a cough there, so I got to go around that. Your shots aren't going to be shaky if you edit in the camera. So L plays it forward, K stops it, O for out, Q places it in there. Then we go down in here and we make sure that the audio isn't too loud.
Uncomfortable with it.
But not everyone is ready to give up their warm weather clothes. Connor McCullough chose his t-shirt and shorts when
So since I said Connor McCullough there, I should probably bring that shot back and actually show him somewhere. I'm talking about wearing his shirt, his t-shirt and shorts in, L, out, never mind, move it forward a little further, out, Q, puts it up top, and I'll just trim it back so that he can start talking for a second while the B-roll's still going, but then eventually he'll pop up.
Connor McCullough chose his t-shirt and shorts when looking at the same weather forecast.
I mean, it's not really bothersome to me right now. If I was cold, I
might bring that audio down just a tad, and down, down, and I'm going to cover up this one. And it's another reason why Connor is wearing shorts today. So I'll grab from here and do out and Q. Yeah, that's plenty long. And what am I saying here?
wear those.
Ms. Matthews says she has a little shopping.
And then something about Ms. Matthews needing to buy sneakers. Got to have one more shot of Robin in here somewhere. That's my extra shot of Robin. Q. Stretch it out so it covers that hole. You see the hole I'm trying to cover? There you go. Bring that nat sound down just a little bit. And now I got to cover something saying as seasons change, yada, yada, yada. So do the wardrobes. Again, this is not Watergate. This is just covering some video, and I think I've used all kinds of shots, so I'm going to put this little bonus of Connor in there. 1, 2, 3, out, Q. in, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, out, cue. And I just need one more closing shot that I haven't used already, and I'm gonna have to scroll my whole package here. I have to scrub this, make sure. Okay, that's my first wide. That one, so I can't reuse that shot. And there, and there, and there, and there. So just be careful not to reuse any shots. I might have used them all. Did I use that one? I don't think I did. I have that one. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I do have that shot. Well, this is why you have to shoot enough B-roll, or you're going to be at the very end of your pack, and you're going to have 5 seconds to cover. You're not going to have any new shots. You don't want to double up a shot. Is that one in there? It's right there. I don't think I have this shot. Not the best shot to end on, but whatever. I'm just going to be real quick with this and just kind of scrub it. Scrub, 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 whatever. Go down here, Q, and there's a little bit of pad on the end there. Do you see how the blue overlaps the green a little bit? That provides a little bit of pad. And we'll watch it once and make sure it looks good.
In classrooms all over Loyola, students are starting to break out the sweaters, and some are getting rid of the sandals. Fall has come to New Orleans, and students try to look as cool as the weather.
Every morning when I wake up, I go outside and I check the weather in my little pajamas, I see how the weather is, It's like, okay, I need to dress kind of cozy, not nothing too, that I might feel uncomfortable with.
But not everyone is ready to give up their warm weather clothes. Connor McCullough chose his t-shirt and shorts when looking at the same weather forecast.
I mean, it's not really bothersome to me right now. If I was cold, I would probably be admitting it, and I wouldn't try to act all tough about it, but no, it's not that bad.
McCullough says there's another reason why he's wearing shorts today.
I will say I only have one pair of pants that are a little bit dirty from the weekend, so I wasn't about to wear those.
Ms. Matthews says she has a little shopping to do too.
Well, it just sucks that I can't wear sandals and flip-flops like I like to, so I have to get more sneakers.
As seasons change, so do wardrobes, and in the meantime, students have their own ways of finding their comfort zone. For PAC News, I'm Mark Poepsel.
Okay, so the main issues that I have, this story would not pass yet because there are a couple of shaky shots. For some stupid reason, I had a shaky sandal shot there. I think I have a better one. I think it comes before the cough. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, out. Q. Okay, here's the problem. This one is running into there. So I'm just going to drag that back and do it like that. So now I have only got the close-up shot. It's a little shaky, but it's not as bad as the other one. And this one is the other one that sucks.
Connor McCullough chose his t-shirt and shorts when looking.
So I gotta delete that, go up here and find the one where he's doing the same thing, but where it's not shaky. That's where it should go. And just press Q and put it in there and drag it back. Back. And bring those gnats down a little bit. And watch it.
I feel uncomfortable with it.
But not everyone is ready to give up their warm weather clothes. Connor McCullough chose his t-shirt and shorts.
Okay, so now it's looking like Connor's the guy wearing the sandals. I don't want that either. Alright, so I'm going to trim this and trim this. Oh, don't do that. Just move that guy over. Okay. Now another thing you can do is in, out, and then now it's got an in and out marked. And I can go back over here and finish that sequence of the sandals out. There it is. In, 1, 2, 3, whatever. I think because I put in and out, it'll drop it in there when I push Q. Yes, that's right. That's Final Cut Pro for you. It's a smart program. So I put in and out in the program, and I just needed an in point to match up from the clip, and it dropped it right in there.
Feel uncomfortable with it.
But not everyone is ready to give up their warm weather clothes. Connor McCullough chose his t-shirt and shorts when looking at the same weather forecast.
Alright, so let's just call it good for now. What do? Share, export media is one way of doing it. That makes a big old MOV file. I think it's the Apple 422 codec. Your best bet is to go to Apple devices, leave it on iPad. It'll only be a 71 megabyte file, which is pretty big, but it's not insane. Click Next, Package Edit Demo, and it's going to output that, and then you can upload that to YouTube. If you get really good, there's a share YouTube. There's a YouTube selection under the share menu. The problem with that is it sometimes won't tell you if your YouTube connection is not, if your YouTube ID or password is incorrect until it's been trying to export the video for 5 minutes. So it can be a pain in the butt. I mean, if you want to set it up and if you're trusted, if you make sure it works, you can put it right to your YouTube that way. But for me, I don't mind the extra step of putting it out as an iPad M4V or whatever, and then going to the web to upload it to YouTube. Either way, that's how you edit a package.